it's the Effin' Nerd Show, and today I'm talking about Twin Peaks. Fire, walk with me. Yes. So, alright, let me just try to get back into the headspace of where I was after I finished Season 2 of Twin Peaks. When I finished Season 2 of Twin Peaks, I was perplexed by the fact that it ended in a cliffhanger. It introduced like 1,000 nuts things all at you, like in the span of like, I mean, it was a whole episode, but still, it was a lot really fast, really late in the game, and like that was it. People were just left hanging there, okay? And then come to find out, there's a couple of years later, I think it was like 1994. I could be wrong. Correct me somewhere. I guess I don't know. But around then, they did Fire Walk with Me. It's a prequel to Twin Peaks. It really takes place concerning the death of Laura Palmer and really sort of expands on what we thought we knew. So let me first say the good things I liked. The great things I liked were I really liked how this sort of portrays some very dark themes, but in a it's very dramatic, it's very interesting, it's very, like, I don't want to say it's just entertaining, but it is entertaining, but also, it's not cheap. I don't think so. I can see why some people might think it might cheapen, like, whoa, do you realize what you're dealing with right now? But I don't think it does. I think it's actually showing, you know, a shocking way of what you're seeing without making it like boring, somber, dramatic, like it's dramatic, but a different kind of dramatic. And I do appreciate that quite a bit. I did miss a lot of people that were in Twin Peaks. I do miss the Twin Peaks tone a little bit in Fire Walk with Me, but I do like the strangeness. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say for non-spoilers. I was trying to do like a little bit of non-spoilers and then spoilers, but I think, why are you watching this if you hadn't seen Twin Peaks? So I can spoil Twin Peaks, and I'm going to spoil this, and then later I'm going to talk about the missing pieces. But I'll talk about the missing pieces probably closer towards the back half of this video, because I don't think it's that important right now. I want to talk about the movie. So the movie starts with, it starts off with Kiefer Sutherland and another guy, and they're FBI agents, and they're looking at a town that's not like, it's like probably the polar opposite of Twin Peaks. And now I kind of see why Cooper was like, as soon as he gets to Twin Peaks, literally Twin Peaks is the opposite of what he's been used to for however long they've been investigating the Teresa Banks case. Sorry if you heard that burp. Anyway, so you follow these two other FBI agents. They look into the Teresa Banks case. They're like investigating. They're like, what happened to her ring? Because she was missing like a ring or something. And that was a big all important thing. Harry Dean Stanton, he was pretty funny. Really liked that. What else did I like about that first little bit? Kiefer Sutherland, like, in hindsight, like, I don't know the context of at the time, but is like Kiefer Sutherland the most famous person in that movie? I don't know. Very small role. I assume it's a cameo. But whatever. So there was that. I want to get to the David Bowie thing, because the David Bowie thing really kind of tripped me up. I'm not gonna lie, because first of all, Cooper comes back in that scene. I think it's in that scene, and then he's doing this thing with the security camera, and then David Bowie walks in, and then David Bowie's telling a story, which I love David Bowie, love it. But like, what was going on? I don't know. And then there was the fuzz. I don't know. And then it was like fading in and out, and then like all this crazy stuff was happening, and it was like, what the heck is going on? I didn't necessarily understand what all that was. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, that was fun, and that was interesting. But then you get into the Laura Palmer stuff. So this is why I wanted to talk about spoilers immediately, because like in the first season, or maybe the beginning of the second season, whenever they finally reveal that it was Leland being controlled by Bob that, you know, killed Laura and killed her cousin and all this jazz, like, yeah, you got it, like, oh man, that's pretty terrible, like, it's pretty messed up and dark, but it's really more messed up when you're thinking about, like, like this really portrays it. Like I was also surprised by the fact like this is like, oh wait, we could go rated R? Nah, we're not gonna take a chance. We're not gonna miss out on going rated R. We're gonna show naked bodies. We're gonna say the F word. We're gonna like literally show, not literally, but like incest was shown on camera. Like not really, but not actually, but like you know Leland to be Laura Palmer's father, and that's like a whole thing. And like before, I wasn't really necessarily thinking about Laura Palmer's perspective of like what was going on there. And yeah, when they mentioned about like Bob being involved in like assaulting her and all this stuff, like I was just sort of thinking about it as Bob. I wasn't thinking about it as Leland. I mean, I knew it was Leland after the fact, but literally like seeing it in front of my face, I'm like, oh wait, yeah, that's right. Leland was like the vessel for Bob, so he did that. That was messed up. And I think that's where the gold is. Like, people have been reclaiming this because I guess people weren't so happy with it when it came out. The Twin Peaks fans were mad because they were like, you didn't effing conclude the effing cliffhanger, mother effer. Why didn't you do that? And other people were like, I haven't seen Twin Peaks. What the fudge is this? Or maybe they have seen Twin Peaks and they're still like, what the fudge is this? I don't know. And that makes sense. But I do think, and I think I read some interview or something on Wikipedia, where the main actress who plays Laura Palmer, I think her name is Cheryl Lee, I hope I'm right, she was talking about how victims of incest have come up to her and talked to her about how the movie was very helpful for them. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's a very strange, like, it's so weird. Like, the movie is so heavily infused in the Twin Peaks world, but it is a very deep story. Like, you could look at it as, oh, Bob was possessing Leland. Or you could look at it as, Evan Leland had a dark, incestuous, like, urge in him, maybe. I don't know. And thinking about it through that lens is so dark and depressing for Laura Palmer. It's so sad. Yeah. And what I love most about, like, all the things, like, I'm just now starting The Return, which The Return is mind-meltingly mind-melted. Like, my mind has been melted completely with The Return. But, what I really love is, like, without Firewalk with Me, it is a little bit like, okay, what the fudge is The Return about? Because if you don't have and the missing pieces help also. The missing pieces do help. Barely, though. I guess I'll talk about the missing pieces now. So the missing pieces, they're deleted scenes from the Firewalk with Me movie that obviously you couldn't, like, it's over an hour and a half, or it's about an hour and a half long, so obviously you couldn't include that into this already 2-hour plus movie. But that stuff is the stuff that really links this extra hard to Twin Peaks. Like, it's hard to say. Like, you know, I don't know if you can enjoy the movie without having watched any Twin Peaks ever. But also, it's like, how can you just leave this stuff on the floor for the Twin Peaks fans? I don't know. It's complicated. I don't know. It's complicated. But yeah. The missing pieces, the stuff I liked about them is you got a little bit more about, I don't know if they either went back and shot again that little extra bit from the end of season 2, or if it was an extra thing from the end of season 2 that they just now included. Because another thing you must know is the missing pieces came out in 2014. So I wonder if people even knew that The Return was coming by then. You know what I mean? So the movie comes out in 1994, and then 20-something years later, probably 20 years exactly later, I think? Wait, no, 30 years later. I have no idea. I don't know math. I can't math anymore. But yeah, thinking, then you have the 2014 Criterion, blah, 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 that has missing pieces. People are probably like, whoa, wait, why are you giving me this now? There's more information. And then The Return comes out, and now you have your closure? It's just nuts, man. Just nuts. Yeah. I love the Heather Graham stuff. I don't know if Heather Graham's going to come back to The Return. I hope. I'm scared she's going to die if she does. And if she doesn't, then dang. I'm so, like, it sucks that, like, I guess I noticed when I just started Return, I'm literally like an episode or 2 or 3 in, basically. I'm watching them like the feature-length versions, pretty much. I think it's 18 episodes, but you can watch them 2 at a time as a movie each time. So I think it's like 9 movies. I think I'm in the middle of the second one. Jesus. Oh, boy. So, yeah. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited about what's going to happen. I know, just like people died. Yeah, that's what I was going to mention. So yeah, like Frank Silva, who plays Bob, he died, which is a real shame because I'm like, his face is so scary, and he's the only guy who looks like that. Like, who else can look like that? I don't know. Who else? Also, like, the Donna recast in Fire Walk with Me was a little jarring, but then I guess, I don't even think Donna's going to come back for the return, I guess. I don't know. I had no idea. I just started it. Bobby. So yeah, that's one thing. That's one reveal that happened. I don't know. Did I miss something? Did they mention that in the original Twin Peaks show that Bobby killed Mike? Because I didn't know that. And if they didn't, whoa. And that really, like, I always thought Barbie was, Barbie. I always thought Bobby was a garbage person. Like, just the way he sort of, like, messes around with Shelley and Audrey and stinking Laura and all this, and it's like, it's so messed up. It's so messed up. And he killed the guy. Bobby killed the guy. Granted, he was the only one who took it serious, and Laura was like laughing, but Laura was going through her own thing. And I did also like that. Laura doing the cocaine, I think, was she doing it basically to keep herself from going to sleep? I think that's the case, right? So she wouldn't go to sleep so Bob couldn't attack her. I think that's why she was doing the coke all the time. And that's why she was dealing with Bobby. And she was dealing with, what's that guy's face? With the diaries, because she didn't want Bob messing with her diary stuff. I'm getting scared. I'm hearing noises in here. I'm getting terrified. But yeah, so yeah, that was just crazy. I just thought it was crazy. I just really like how like we thought we knew everything when it came to Laura Palmer's death because of what we saw in season 1 and season 2. But apparently not. Like, yeah, we got all the little bits and pieces from each of the individual people, but now that we look at it from her perspective and from like how she feels about each of these people, like her therapist. Like, her therapist had a big thing for her, but she thought he was super creepy. And those tapes were more of a thing for him to get off on than they were for her to get better from. And thinking, yeah, the diary guy to hold the diary. Bobby to get the drugs to stay awake so she doesn't go to sleep, so Bob doesn't mess with her. All that. I hope that looks like an explosion with the lights and everything. Literally, pretty crazy. What else? I'm trying to think what else I want to scrub my brain for. What happened to the FBI guy that grabbed the ring? Did he die? I forget. Did he die? Or did he just disappear? I don't know. Does he come back in the return? I don't know. I like the Ed and Norma stuff. But also, that shows that, like, he cheated on Nadine while they were still together before she even got the whole super strength amnesia thing. So that's a little messed up. I like Ed a little less because of that. I don't know. I don't know why I thought that maybe he was staying true to her, Nadine, during that whole time, but I guess that's my naivete, as it were. What else? I'm trying to really ring it all in. I think that's it, yeah. So yeah, that was Twin Peaks, Fire Walk With Me, and a little bit of the missing pieces. Not too much, just a little bit. To mention that Heather Graham came back, and that involves something like her telling stuff about what happened with Coop. Alright, so yes, like, follow, subscribe, The Effin' Nerd Show, and please keep watching watch my last Twin Peaks video on The Return, because I gotta do a third one now. But also, it's gonna be a while, alright? I just started, and it's like I said, it's like 9 movies. So, I got some other videos I gotta make. So yeah, thank you, goodbye, like, follow, subscribe, goodbye, Effin' Nerd Show, goodbye!